Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Photoshop fun and easy to learn. If you're new to this channel, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to use functional shapes to create draw dropping images like this inside of Photoshop. Alright? If you've not subscribed to my channel, now is the best time to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping anytime from now. Without having to say much, let's get started. So as you can see, I have my images ready. These are my reference on my artboards, and we'll be recreating them separately on the artboards to your right, like this. Right, so to start off, if you've not watched my last video where I talked about using shapes, make sure you check this video up here. Right, so to start with, I'm going to fill this with a solid color, which is this color here. All right, easy peasy. Right, so like I said in the last video, Photoshop is not built to handle shape management, so that's why you have a plan B as a vector software to create this. Right, so go over to shapes. When you go over to shapes, like make sure you use images, or make sure you use the resource file in the description of this video to get this particular shape. Right, so you're going to see social media shape, and this is how to import it. In case you didn't get it, make sure you watch the last video on how to import these shapes. Right, make sure you have your shape open, and easy peasy, you can get these shapes here. So when you drag it inside your artboard, you can then change the color to the color of your choice, and you have this for yourself. So you can duplicate this, Ctrl T, and flip horizontal like this, and hold down Shift to adjust this way like this, while bringing this inside like this and adjusting this way also. Right, so you can then put this below like this, and of course change the color so that you can have difference between the shapes. Right, so you can see this can be used for your projects and any other designs that you might want to have. Every other thing here is just basic things and function of the logo. So moving on to the next one. Right, so artboard 2. Okay, so this is artboard 6. So I'm going to go over to my shape. So this is the shape that was used to create this. Right, so what you just need to do is when you're done, you can make it bigger, scale up to fit what you want like this, and double click and use the same color that was used here. Right, so basically I'm just going to add the image like this, and drag and drop basically is what I am doing. Right, make it smaller, and what you want to do is you make a duplicate copy of this image. Right, so Ctrl J does that. For this first one, make sure you clip it to the shape. You can see it's clipped. Turn on this one, add a mask to it like this. Right, invert the mask, Ctrl I, and go select your brush. Select the brush, and make sure your foreground color is set to white, and you can paint on it like this to reveal only these areas. And that's how this was created. So every other thing, you can add your text, you can add every other thing to this, and most especially create a new layer. Let's add some light into this. Let's use this color instead. And all you need to do is turn the flow back to 100, click and change this to screen. Right, and easy like this. So this is how to add the light effect. So you can then reduce it if you think it's too much to get your desired results like this. All right, so let's move on to the next one we have here, which on the outside looks complicated because of the shapes, but then if you've downloaded and installed this shape file, you would get all of the shapes. You're welcome. Right, so fill the background with this, and if you look closely, let me move this downward. So if you move closely to, let me change the color of this to what I have here. So if you move, now that you have this in place, you can increase it just a little bit and position this well. So for the background, if you look closely, you will see that you have a couple of things going on. But before then, let me use the ellipse. I'm just going to draw the ellipse here like this. Make sure you don't make this mistake that I just made. Right, so Ctrl Z, make sure you create a new layer before you bring in a new shape. Very important. Right, so I'm just going to place this here like this. And make sure it's behind the first shape. Double click on the thumbnail to change the color. Easy peasy. Ctrl J on this to make a duplicate copy of this. And Ctrl T. Make sure you make this smaller. All right. Double click, and I'm just going to make this white so that I can distinguish between the two shapes. Make it slightly smaller. Somewhere around here is good. And with this one selected, create a layer above it and create clipping mask with the layer. Select your brush, make sure your foreground color is set to white, and instead of using gradients, I would use this instead to create that white effect. So you can select, and let me just change the color of this to what I have here. I think I'll just leave it in white since I'm not adding the image. Right, I'm going to select the three of them, Ctrl G to group them. Right, group all of them, and duplicate them, Ctrl J again. And I'm just going to place this here. So this finishes this part of the shapes. So I'm going to have this here. Every other thing is just easy peasy. And like adding the background, the shadow, the drop shadow to it and everything. Right, so you can reduce the whites inside of that shape like this, and everything else falls in place. Right, so for the shadow, you can do something like this. Make sure you're using a darker color. Make sure you're on a new layer. Reduce the size of your brush, click once, and Ctrl T, hold down Shift, and flatten this down so it's on the surface like this, and that's all. So you can choose to reduce the shadow. Click enter, opacity reduce like this, and this is what you have. Right, so if you look closely at the image, this particular image, you would see that you have, let me leave it at this color. You see that you have so many things going on inside of it, and of course the background. Right, so I talked about that in previous videos. So you can use a shape or a background, any background of your choice, and just set the blend mode to either multiply or overlay. So for this one, you can just drag this inside here like this. Please make sure you're saving these shapes well, the right way. Like I said, if you missed the last video, make sure you watch the last video how I used these shapes. And make sure to get these files, these shape files, make sure you click the link in the description of this video to get yours. Right, so I'm going to move this below like this. And the next thing I'm going to do is, so working on this, create a new layer above it. So you can rename that lights, because we're just going to use it to add lights to it. So with this one selected, right, we're going to do this. Now to do this is very, very simple. All you need to do is select your lights, the color of the lights, which is my foreground color. Select the brush, make sure you're using a soft brush, right? And you want to be precise, so make your brush smaller. You can zoom in if you want to zoom in, and you want to do something like this, easy peasy. So you can zoom in just to be more precise and continue like this. That's all basically, right? You can change the blend mode to screen. Do it on the one on top like this. And what you need to do is just drag across like this, and that's all basically. Right, if you feel it's too much, you can reduce the intensity by lowering the opacity. Right, now to make this more realistic, click on the shape and add noise to it. Right, so click OK. You can see how it is compared to how it was before. Right, then you can impute your image, and everybody goes home happy. Right, so basically this is how you can create all of this. So like I said, you can add the image of the guy, and yeah, that works best. So you can reduce this just so you have a good amount of contrast, and every other thing just falls in place. Right, so like I said, change the blend mode to screen and reduce it if it's too much like this. All right guys, if you've gained something valuable from this video, if you've gained something important, don't forget to click the thumbs up, share this video, and most especially, do not forget to subscribe. Right, subscribe, like, share. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
With over 1,000 premium fonts, over 100 high-quality PSD flyer templates, over 700 icons, over 3,000 premium stock photos, 3,000 plus high-resolution backgrounds, 1,000 plus 3D and PNG assets, editable PSD templates, and lots more. If you're a creative designer, UI, UX, or web designer, the Smart Designer's graphics assets will make your life much more easier.